The college football experience and college basketball experience weekend bombs edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. We're also brought to you by SGPN's ultimate New Year's Eve party. Hop on Sports Gambling Podcast YouTube channel for a truly DGen afternoon, complete with drafts, pick'ems, prizes, live sweats, and much, much more. The fun starts at 12:30 Pacific time, New Year's Eve. And remember, as always, folks, too.
I stay deserved.
let it ride. Let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Oh man, that was cool.
Yes. Woo! It's already off to a wild start. Welcome to the college experience weekend bombs. I mean, just to let you in, folks, was trying to play that little clip. We gave you the.
I stay deserved to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
That's our New Year's Eve party, apparently.
Yeah. The best one, you're like, don't forget to, like you set it up like, no, don't forget to. But say, let it ride. Don't forget to. You're gonna die.
I stay deserved to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Don't forget to die and burn in hell, guys.
Yes. Don't forget to do that, folks. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
We're rocking here. We got a loaded slate. College basketball, college football, part of the C block. Hopefully you caught the Bottom Line Bombs episode prior to this. In case you're listening to this on audio form, go listen to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Look, I am joined. This is the Bombs. We do this every week. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for the host of the Bottom Line Bombs. They call him the man in the box, aka the Bet Detective. Give it up for CJ Sullivan.
Yes, what's up, everybody? And just to let you guys know, let me lock it in. New Bet Detective shirts just came in the merch store. Look at that. Speaking of, I should probably open it up. Hold on.
YouTube.com/the college experience. You can see these Bet Detective shirts rocking along. Look at this thing.
This is a great logo.
Look at that thing. That is fantastic work. Fantastic work right there, if I may say so. Those are all available. You can walk around with the Bet Detective this holiday season, this 2024 year. What better way to start the year than walk around in some Bet Detective gear? How are you, buddy?
Good. How we doing? How's your Christmas, Dundee?
Christmas was good. Obviously wife pregnant, so very low key.
Very low key. We had a great evening. I was the third wheel with the Dundee couple out there. We caught a Loyola Marymount game versus Colorado State Rammer Jammers on Friday. Saw that beautiful campus. Me and the Dundee couple is great. And then so I imagine the Christmas was good. Did Santa treat you right a little bit though? I bet. No,
he treated my future son right by getting a bunch of stuff.
I was just say your dad. No one cares about you.
I don't think I got anything. The only thing I got were those gifts you got me from the Loyola Marymount. A couple lions.
I already saw you put it to use. Put the Lions face on for a pick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that game was fantastic. We did cash on Colorado State. I'll play their music. Hey, it was an interesting moment because we were there, part of the LMU crowd,
right,
and kind of behind them, but at the same time rooting for them to fail.
One of my favorite activities in live sport event viewing is the quiet cheering when you bet on the other team. But you also have to put on that front because you don't want to be that asshole that's openly rooting against the other team when you're with the fans. So we're rooting for Loyola Marymount, but then every time Colorado State would hit a three, we go, little fist. We do our little discreet fist bumps,
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I want is Kelly LePepe coming up in the crowd and pulling Vernon Maxwell and punching me in the fucking face. Folks, we got bowl games. I hope you followed us because Boston College moneyline dog, Fenway Park, and the Miami Hurricanes. Rutgers to beat the Miami Hurricanes. Gonna come true there. I know that wasn't a juicy dog, but Boston College was, folks. And we're gonna get into.
You must have loved that game, Dundee. The weather conditions, incredible.
Well, between that and the Virginia Tech Tulane game in Annapolis, I mean that's what you want out of football.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's when you're like, yeah, we could be at the Hawaii Bowl, but we're in Boston in December in this absolute slop at Fenway Park. Hilarious. I love Boston College. They're used to it. They didn't care. SMU wanted no parts of that whole day.
My thing is like, yes, it's in America. We're playing American football, right? Yep. That means you should be able to play anywhere. Never a dome. Just Hawaii's in the cards. Hawaii's in the cards. But all this NFL bullshit in Berlin, get the fuck out of here. All right.
Bullshit Berlin.
I hate those games. Do that shit in the preseason if you want to do that.
I agree with that. Anyway.
That counts as a home game for a team. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's awful. Great cash though. BC and is Rutgers a final, you said?
I believe there was 30 seconds left in a second here. Let me confirm. Still 25 seconds left. They're up 7. Miami got the onside kick, so it was 14. So Miami scored. So technically the Hurricane are still alive here.
Dundee, don't you?
Yeah, definitely probably jinx that one. Folks, we're gonna go into some more bowl games. Talk a little college football, invitational 14 playoff. Some college hoops as well. But before we do all of that, I want to tell you that the college experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. They got NFL in Berlin, believe it or not. They got all that stuff. NFL wherever, NBA, NHL, college hoops, and you better believe they still got you covered for college football bowl season. Simply pick higher or lower in your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in, people. So what are you doing? Watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code TCESGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back on the college experience. We're not even going to go through the rest of the Thursday card unless you got a dog that, because I'm on the favorites. I'm on that K-State Arizona Wildcat parlay that I'm doing.
Yeah, well, no, I oppose you on that. I'm on NC State there.
Never take NC State in a game that matters. Well, I guess you could argue that this one doesn't matter. All right.
Well, here's my call on this one. Now I know the portal hit both of them on this game, right? No one's playing in either one of these games.
Kansas State hit worse, so I understand that.
Much worse, starters. I mean, obviously they were a better team, but I mean they got legit starters out, not just a quarterback. But NC State was hot down the stretch. They got obviously hitting reporter. Have they never won 10 games? When was the last time they won 10 games?
I believe never.
Never, right? And this means something to them.
Yeah, which means they will lose. That's what I'm saying. In games that matter,
Yeah, and they had a chance a couple years ago, and then the bowl got canceled on them. Remember that? They're so fucking pissed.
Absolutely fantastic.
So I'll rival you now. I'm going NC State.
Okay, try to teach you these things. There's rules to this football thing. You know,
I will say, I wish I listened to you earlier because I took Arizona when that line first came out. And then you've now convinced me that it's actually an upgraded Oklahoma's quarterback situation.
No, but I'm on Arizona.
You're on Arizona?
Yeah. I mean, their whole entire offensive line is out. But yes, Jackson Arnold is a stud to watch.
Yeah. So Arizona's a small fave there.
I still think you ride Arizona right now because their entire offensive line for Oklahoma is out. How fast can you replace your offensive coordinator, your entire offensive line, your starting quarterback, a running back?
Right.
It's a lot to ask for. But I mean, I don't feel amazing about that game. I feel all right. What's it at 3.5 now? Right? Or is it 2.5?
No, 2.5. I'm saying.
Yeah. That's actually came down a little bit.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm still on Arizona. Give me Arizona. Jets, Fish, getting it done. Let's ride. And like I said, if you're still out there, I know this is today, so people listening to this, you might be listening to tomorrow. My Wildcat parlay, Kansas State, Arizona, even though I know that's about to kick. Anyway, let's jump over to Friday, December 29th.
There we go.
I got a nice, what should I say here? Call this one a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
I gotta start looking up dogs now. I gotta do some dog research for this show.
I gotta do a look. There's a big ass Rhodesian Ridgeback just sitting out there, CJ, and it's available. And guess what? This Rhodesian Ridgeback, it's at home. It's not even leaving.
What?
They're just sitting there at their own home stadium.
Home dog. I love where this is going.
I'm talking about the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, I see them. That's
taking on the
dog.
Taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. 10.5 points. What the hell am I missing here? Unless they got some intel that I don't know about. I can't understand why, they played 2 years ago. Was it? No, maybe it was 4 years ago. I can't recall. They played in a bowl game in the last 5 years, and Iowa State won 21-20.
Right.
That was when they had like Breece Hall and everybody. You know what I mean? Like this Iowa State team, not nearly as talented. They're laying 10.5. They got Anthony Beck's son, your boy.
Yeah, Tony Baloney, Coach Tony Baloney.
What the hell am I doing here? Memphis is at home at the Liberty Bowl. Give me the plus 330. Are you in on this? What are you doing here?
Who's out for Iowa State? Now, Hunter Deckers, of course.
Yeah, all those gambling. Look, there's a casino in Memphis too. Right. There's a casino in Memphis.
I mean, Memphis riverboat gambling is a thing. So these guys are going to put in their 50-cent parlay card, whatever it is that jeopardize their career for. I kind of agree for you. There's a weird thing when you have home games. You either are going to be not motivated at all because you're not going anywhere fun. If you're playing in the slop at Fenway or some shit, or you don't get to travel. Or you want to put on a show for your fans and your family that are going to be there, especially when you got an upgrade, at least in the media's eyes, of team coming in with Iowa State, a Big 12 team coming in like this. I think you're right. I think they're primed for a pickings here. I like the over in this game a lot too. I think it's going to be back and forth points.
That's at 57.5, folks. If you want to jump in on that,
no problem whatsoever. Those overs yesterday all cleared easily, except for the last one. But I mean, Jesus Louise. I like the over in here. And because it's going back and forth, why not sprinkle some Memphis money line on there?
I think Memphis had like 2 offensive linemen hit the portal. That's it. That everyone else I think is playing, as far as I can tell.
And by the way, to tout the weekend bombs, we're not just throwing dogs out there because we love dogs like anyone else. We gave out a 14-1 3-dog parlay last show, by the way.
Oh yeah.
that was beautiful little pup with Georgia Tech running the lead dog, and I did a rod our dog parlay.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
they stung. And then wait, who did we have that with? We had that with
South Florida, which was
South Florida. Oh, yeah. 45-0. Get that Syracuse bullshit out of here.
And Illinois or something like that. We cleared up. But yeah, that was hilarious. And somehow the over didn't hit in that one. It's about 45 and the over didn't hit. Anyway.
Can I interest you now?
So that's a big one. Memphis outright, we're saying.
I think if you're going to bet it, you take it. You take both. You take 10.5 to cover your ass because Iowa State. I want to say in the past 5 years has played the most one-score games out of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is a team that lost to Ohio in Athens earlier this year. So I totally think Memphis could win this game, especially at home. So back it up with the points, but I think you're good on the money line there. And then we got a couple other Friday games. Now Clemson is taking on Kentucky. Have you noticed ever since Tyler from Spartanburg, South Carolina called in and gave Dabo Swinney shit, whatever it did, it pissed off Dabo Swinney because they're undefeated since then. And they've been beating the shit out of teams, including Notre Dame on that stretch. So I'm all over Clemson -4, even though I know they got a ton of opt-outs. A couple guys hit the portal. I don't care. I think Kentucky, and once again, Devin Leary, former NC State quarterback, they're going to fold up. I'm going chalk here. Give me the Tigers -4 in the Gator Bowl.
Now this line came down. This opened up at 10, I believe, or something like that. It's
probably because all those defenders that are opted out. Like they have like 3 or 4 defenders that have opted out.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. And this is way too. But I'm saying this is way too much of an adjustment. You're right. Absolutely. Bo Collins is out.
He's at Notre Dame now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's just like in the way Clemson's playing, they want to finish it strong, and Dabo's going to have him go. Dabo cares about this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not one of those guys like, oh, we had national championship aspirations. That's long gone. You're right. Ever since that call in, he's going to baptize some more Christians on the field out here, and I don't believe in this Kentucky team at all. Anyway, they're very one dimensional.
Oh, they are counterfeit as all can be. They're like the classic SEC team that gets just enough wins to get bowl eligible because the 8-game conference schedule, when we all know they're dog shit. Yeah, all over. Now I'm curious about, we might have a Cocker Spaniel going on in the Sun Bowl here in El Paso, Texas.
Right.
So I'm going to read you who is out for Oregon State and who is out for Notre Dame, because I originally was thinking we load up on Notre Dame, say 3 weeks ago, because I knew obviously Oregon State's staff now at Michigan State. That's
the thing with Oregon State. They have 3 coaches.
Yeah.
3. The rest are like TAs and shit. The security guard working. You
want me to call plays? I was just over here.
Gym teachers in there. Assistant to hand out exams.
Yeah.
Got a skeleton crew fucking doing this, coach. I got intramural coaches out there. But that being said, Notre Dame is. I mean, this should just be the Portal Bowl. This game.
Yeah, I mean, this game is, what sucks is like the Sun Bowl is incredible. One of the oldest bowls. I love it. Quarterback DJ Ukulele, I call him. He's gone.
Now, where did Ukulele go?
He hasn't landed yet. The backup though, Aiden Childs, who was a 5-star freshman, he's at Michigan State now. Their running back Damian Martinez got a DUI, but it seemed like they fought it in court. He may play or he may hit the portal. We don't know.
Yeah, he's not playing.
You got the right tackle.
Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. He's fine. He's not playing.
The right tackle Talise Fuaga is opting out for the NFL draft. Their starting wideout, who led the team in yardage, I believe.
Yep.
Anthony Gould. He is out, opting out for the NFL. Their starting tight end, Jack Veiling, led the team in touchdown receptions. He has hit the portal. I think he's going to go to Michigan State as well. Their star linebacker, Easton Macarnis Arnold, who led the team in tackles, he's not there. Their starting safety, who was second in the team in tackles, Akili Arnold, he's not there. And their kicker, Atticus Sappington, 13 of 14 on field goals this year. He is not there either. He's in the portal. So you're in panic mode if you're thinking the Beavers. But I would say this: I think the Beavers might be a little more hungry. Because on the Notre Dame side, you got Sam Hartman, who for some reason is going to opt out and elect to be an 8th round draft pick, even though the NFL draft only has 7 rounds. Then you have running back Audric Estime, who's a stud, led the team in yards, opting out for the NFL draft. Both their offensive tackles that will be probably 1st round draft picks, Joe Alt and Blake Fisher, opting out. Their center Zeke Coral hit the portal. Their star tight end Mitchell Evans out for the year with an injury. Their other tight end Holden Stays, who had 4 touchdowns, second on the team, he is in the portal. So last season, before when Audric Estime 2 years ago was injured, they went with Chris Tyree. Well, he is now at Virginia. He transferred. And their 2 wideouts, Rico Flores Jr. and Tobias Merriweather, are gone too. Also, defensive end Nanu Osafa Mensah, who had 3 sacks. I got no fucking idea what the hell's happening in this game.
The same game you're talking about, or you? I thought you were reading down the preview for next season. These guys are out. These guys are in. Here's a 54-man roster getting overturned. This game is just insane. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's why we have a Cocker Spaniel. We go with the Beavers. They're the ones getting disrespected. They're gonna have to join the fucking Mountain West or something.
Right. Yeah.
I think they have more motivation. Do I feel great about it? No, but
not at all.
You're looking for a little dog play. I think you might have a little spot with the Beavs in the Sun Bowl in El Paso.
I agree. Also, another lean. I don't like playing unders in bowl games too much because a lot of times the coaches they let it all hang out. You know, they go for it more. They're more loose, if you will. Things that they should be doing normally, but I don't see how any of these teams score in this game. 41. I don't think it's going to sniff.
Yeah,
that.
Let's load up 41.5. I'm seeing. Yeah, load up on that.
I don't think it's going to sniff that.
Load up on that under, folks. Lock it up. I'll play a little music for that. It's gonna be a defensive outing. I'll even play the defense theme song.
Quarterback sacker.
He will knock you out. Final game on the Friday bowl slate. The Missouri Tigers are taking on Ohio State.
Yep.
They're calling this the Cotton Bowl, but it's not played at the Cotton Bowl, and that's offensive to old Pick Dundee here. All right.
Wait a minute. It's not called the Cotton Bowl?
They're calling the bowl the Cotton Bowl.
It is the Cotton Bowl, but not played at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. Ever since Jerry Jones came in with his 20-year-old women.
His bourbon cologne. So he's taking a stat to Jerry Dome, huh?
Yeah, it's fucking horrible for the sport. Ohio State's laying 3.5.
Well, it looks like they're going to have some players now. Now, I love the Marvin Harrison news. Marvin Harrison has landed in Dallas. He is walking around Texas. He is not confirmed if he wants to play football, but he's tried some barbecue.
It's like JFK. It's like JFK as the president has landed.
Jesus Christ, dude. We got a Taylor Swift concert going on here. Marvin Harrison is in town. I mean, I don't know why he would play. You could do one of these things where they play him and then shut him down for the second half. One of those routines. Who knows? Who knows what's going on there? But it looks like they all want to play for Day now, and I can see. I mean, obviously they're the more talented team. But yeah. I pulled a classic bet detective, and I grabbed the very worst of this number. I'm going to go the other way. I have Missouri -1. It is now Iowa State 3.5.
I'm on Ohio State. I know their starting quarterback Kyle Honda McCord is now at Syracuse.
Hey, he must have felt good watching Syracuse's bowl game. I'm leaving Ohio State to go to this.
They also have Julian Fleming.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the portal. He's a wideout. That's a good wideout.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else they missing there?
Trainum, their backup running back. Henderson seems like he's going to play. Look, I don't even care. Ohio State's backups are better than Missouri starters.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. I trust Ohio State's 23 through 45. I'm not going to trust anyone riding the bench at Mizzou. Ohio State has big 33 All-Americans up and down the roster.
Yeah. Give me Ohio State minus the points. I think they're trying to bait you with that 3.5.
Yeah, they really are. I think they kind of smack them. This has got 10, 17 point win all over it. They're going to flex their muscles and show their strength. And I'm just going to eat a Missouri -1 loss.
Now on Saturday here.
Yep.
You get, this is actually one of I'm curious the bet detective stance on this one because both coaches play or pay attention to the spread, and that is Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss and James Franklin at Penn State. Now, Chop Robinson, he's out. He's opting out. Same with Olu Fushano, their star left tackle, and starting tight end Theo Johnson, second on the team in receptions. Kalen King, their starting corner, as well as defensive coordinator Manny Diaz is now the head coach at Duke. So they have a slew of opt-outs when really all I see with Ole Miss is defensive end Cedric Johnson. Now that doesn't mean they might not. They could have more. They just didn't tell us. Penn State's laying 4.5. Both, like I said, both coaches, they always, cover the spread when they don't need to.
Right.
So what's the edge here? I kind of think it's the Nittany Lions at that filthy Peach Bowl that's not at Fulton County anymore. What are you doing here?
Well, I am the bet detective because I sniff out bad lines. And there's some lines to snort on this one, that's for sure. This sounds fishy. Why is this Penn State? Now's at 5.5. Do I see that?
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. It makes no sense. I know Sanders is obviously not playing for a quarterback for Ole Miss, but early morning game, Saturday, the 30th. This is they're both underperforming teams, coaches that flail and fluster in the big game situations, but love to put up vanity numbers, like you said. Penn State, the sister Mary and the poor, they will trounce them if it means pleasing the boosters, So I don't know. I think Penn State does win this game, and I think there's going to be an because Ole Miss is one of those teams, especially those SEC, like that mid-range SEC teams. So if you lean on them a little bit, they will break, and they'll break. Yeah. And I can see exactly Penn State doing that to them in the second half and just running away with it and making sure they get the cover. Here's the thing with this one. You pick the winner in this game because whoever was going to win is going to cover. And the other one's not going to allow. They just won't allow a win and not cover in this game. If you want Ole Miss, take that money line. If you want Penn State, go ahead and lay that 5.5 with confidence because these are two asshole coaches that love asshole covers for their asshole fan bases.
100%. And I'm on the Nittany Lions there.
I like Penn State here too.
So I ranked all 42 bowl games, and I thought this was the worst one. Auburn taking on Maryland in Nashville.
Right.
This line doesn't make any sense to me, but I want to. So Auburn, they don't have any opt-outs as far as I can tell. Maryland, Toledo, he's opting out for the USFL draft, and cornerback Tarheeb still is opting out. Their starting corner led the team in interceptions. Also, Corey Dykes, their star tight end, he is in the portal. Same with linebacker Jashawn Barham, who was a pretty good player for them. So Maryland, clearly the team affected here. I would assume because of those opt-outs and transfers, I would assume Auburn would be an 11 or 12 point favorite, but instead it was like 7.5, 7. It's down to 6.5 right now. What the hell is going on here?
Does the bet detective need to sniff another line out? Is that what you're saying?
100%. Because look, I feel like, I mean, what is there something? Give me Maryland then. Something that doesn't make sense, because I feel like Auburn should be way like a much heavier favorite here.
Auburn's a tough team to get behind publicly. I think that's why the line is very small. I mean, obviously they're the Iron Bowl, the SEC team, but that New Mexico State game is still
New Mexico State did win 10 games. Maryland's backup quarterback play.
Know that, Dundee. You know that, Dundee. Our listeners know that, but people don't know that about New Mexico State. And I know their Tua is out. They're Maryland. This is another game where I like the over two. This is one of these lackadaisical bowls. What's it got? 47.5 there.
Yeah, 47.5.
I like Auburn too. I'm not rushing to it though. You're right. The line sniffs a little bit, but I can see Auburn obviously dropping this as well.
That's what I'm saying. The line doesn't make sense for me. Give me the Terps, even though no one's good on that roster right now.
I'll take that over though.
Yeah, I like that 47.5. Go over on that. And then the big one that there was a big one a month ago. Now it's absolute dog shit. And I'm talking about Georgia, Florida State. You want to talk about pissing in the face of your fans? Have you seen what Florida State's working with?
I mean, did he look at was he watching tape of Georgia and said, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to hit the transfer portal. I want no parts of this game. This is what I hate about this. Yeah, everyone's leaving Florida State, including their second string quarterback, who was going to be their starter.
And their third string hit the portal.
I mean, how are they going to score?
Well, and then the opt-outs, folks, in case you're in the dark, opt-outs, starting running back Troy Benson, team's leading rusher, 14 touchdowns on the season, NFL draft. Both their starting wideouts, Keon Coleman, who might be the best receiver in the nation, opting out. Johnny Wilson opting out. Starting tight end Jaheim Bell, who's a fucking beast, opting out. Offensive tackle Bless Harris at the portal. Defensive end, their best defensive player, Jared Verse, opting out, led the team in sacks. Also on that defensive line, Fabian Lovett opting out for the NFL draft. Their top linebacker transfers to Colorado. And there's a bunch of other opt-outs that I think I like. I think there's a couple on ice, like Cypress, the corner. Yeah. Meanwhile, Georgia has what? They have linebacker Jamon Dumas Johnson transferred to Kentucky, and the backup quarterback Brock Vandergrift transferred to Kentucky. Now there's a chance there's some more opt-outs of Georgia, but I mean, Florida State's whole roster's gone. This is not. You're talking about them potentially starting a fourth string quarterback.
I initially thought, again, bet detective, worst of the number. I got plus 14 when this thing opened up, Florida State, because I figured Georgia wouldn't be the motivated team to play this, a team that should have been in the national championship and who still should be in the Final Four if you're talking about the best teams. But now with fucking with Tate Rodemaker leaving, I mean, good God.
And you the stupidest game.
They should forfeit this game because it sucks. Because it sucks because this what and all the jerks will be like, see, they don't deserve to be there. They're gonna use this as ammunition when Georgia beats the living brakes off them. You know. Yeah,
no, you're right. This shouldn't count for this season because no one is playing on. This is like when you had the Scabs in '87 in the NFL. You know, I know they counted those wins, but I'm saying, fuck, man, I don't. There's no way. There's no way. 20-point spread. Is there any chance they cover the 20? What if Georgia wins 24-7?
The only way they cover 20 points is if Florida State wins 19-0 and then decides not to play football after the second half, because Florida State, I mean, if Georgia does that, Florida State is not scoring.
Yeah.
How are they going to score?
Maybe a defensive touchdown, a punt return, some shit like that. I don't know. But you're right. The offense is not going to if they were only scoring, what was it, like 17 against Louisville, they had all those players minus Rodemaker. But they had those NFL wideouts, the NFL running back, the NFL tight end, the NFL offensive line, the NFL defensive line. This is just such a terrible game.
I really wish they forfeited this thing. This is brutal.
Yeah, they should. They should right now. They should save that money for the. They need that money though, probably. If you're going to sue the ACC, You're probably gonna need.
That is the only saving grace of it. I'm not gonna turn off watching Florida State get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, that is gonna be fucking fun. I'll be honest.
Yeah, you're absolutely ridiculous. No.
All right, you want a lock?
Yes, I do. Let's give me a.
I think we both probably already bet this. If I had to bet, Greg Bull is coaching his final game.
Yep. This I actually have a good number on for once.
Yes. So Toledo's starting quarterback is now at Baylor. Their starting running back, who was I think the MAC Offensive Player of the Year, he is in the portal, and an offensive lineman is in the portal that started for them. As they head to Tucson, Arizona, to take on Wyoming. Craig Bull in his final game as head coach of the Cowboys. That is why we load up. Lay the 3.5, whatever the fuck it is now, with the Wyoming Cowboys. This is one of the games. I'll be honest. If you listen to our earlier bowl game episodes, the ones I felt really good about, I'm actually doing pretty damn good. I felt really good about Jacksonville State -3.5. They only won by 3, lost that one.
Yeah.
But I felt great about UCLA, wrote a big number there. Felt great about Air Force.
Loved Air Force. Air Force was a huge play.
Felt great about Northwestern and felt great about Minnesota. So all those, I'm doing pretty damn good on the ones I really like. This is one that I really like, Wyoming. When the Bulls were first announced, I was like, oh, I'm jumping on it. What do you do? So you're on this too, right? I
had them at -3 earlier. It's at 3.5 now. I don't care. I'll lay 3.5 too. I'll lay this all the way up to around 6. I mean, I think Wyoming wins just by over a touchdown. And like you said, last game for the coach, a coach they actually like, you know, love. This Wyoming team's been kind of our team all year. You went to a game out there, and it's in the wild winds of Wyoming, 2 convicted murders since 1979. But like you said, and Toledo's in the best spot with everyone leaving. I love Wyoming in this game.
Yeah. Let's go to New Year's Day.
Yes.
LSU is going to beat the shit out of Wisconsin. Dude, they did a horrible job making these bowl games. Like Wisconsin is not. I don't understand
this matchup. Why? Nobody wants this.
Why is Wisconsin? I don't even understand how they. This is why I hate bowl tie-ins. Wisconsin should be playing Boston College. LSU should be playing someone worthy of that. Maybe Notre Dame, maybe Ohio State. Yeah, how about that? Missouri. Give Missouri, Wisconsin.
Have them play Oregon or somebody.
Yeah. What the fuck are we doing here? So why are you even comparing these teams? Wisconsin doesn't have a win against a team with a winning record. So I know Jaden Daniels is out. Heisman Trophy.
Jaden Daniels is out.
I don't care. Nussmeier, son of Doug Nussmeier. I'm referring to Garrett Nussmeier. He's a fucking stud. They're gonna easy play. Braylon Allen's out for Wisconsin. They don't have Mordecai. Get the fuck out of here. Brian Kelly and his family are gonna have a great old time in Tampa. I'm laying the 10. What are you doing here?
The family. I know. Well, the only reason why I wouldn't take LSU is because the bet detective sniffs a bad line here. What is going on here? I mean, Wisconsin is off, but these are kind of the games where they get. I don't know how up LSU will be for this. It is a New Year's Day bowl game. It's early in the morning. This is down in Orlando. Is this where this is at?
Yeah, no, Tampa,
even worse. You can't even get a Photoshop with Mickey for crying out loud. It's nothing but neon and strip clubs. I can't. It's hard to take Wisconsin here. I can't back Wisconsin anyway, but I can see this being a game where they do like show up in kind of Big Ten and slow this thing down. When you have a defense as bad as LSU's is, it doesn't matter sometimes. And I don't even think losing Mordecai is that big of a deal for Wisconsin. He was not the guy they thought.
Dude,
they were still a good Mordecai.
you know my feelings on Wisconsin. Like this is a team. This is a garbage ass team that stack wins in the Big Ten West.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And the Big Ten West is an absolute joke, and we'll talk about that in the next game that's coming up as well. And they did piss in my face all year with my huge over tickets and West Division winners. I'm going down one more time. Give me +10 with Wisconsin.
Oh, you're a fucking maniac. I can't. Yeah, you're all over it. LSU is gonna fuck them up. Iowa. Brian Ferentz.
Yes.
Brian Ferentz gets to put that Iowa t-shirt on one more time to go out there and call that run left play.
This is amazing that they're letting Ferentz's kid run out the string of calling, and he doesn't even switch up the plays. He doesn't even throw a flea flicker in there. He's got nothing in the book to empty out. Nope, just same old fucking student body left and kind of guy right, cornfield up the middle. What are you doing? This is like a relationship that broke up, but they still have the lease on the apartment. So like, all right, we're going to ride this. We're going to have to finish this out at the end of the year. We'll stare at each other and hate each other. And then did you look what his dad said, Kirk Ferentz, I know your favorite coach of all time, when he said the new offensive coordinator comes in, needs to respect how we win games here. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
You win games by playing a horrible division in football. And that wasn't even football. And then when you played two teams that actually were decent enough, you lost 57-0.
Well, no, they had to go on the road. That's what I blame. They had to come to Iowa City. They would have took some L's.
Now they are getting a freshman quarterback with that amazing defense.
Oh, I mean, Joe Milton opting out is huge news because they also have their starting running back Jalen Wright opting out for Tennessee, as well as a couple other key players. Tyler Barron on the defensive line, also Wesley Walker, not to be confused with the former New York Jet. Also safety Tamarian McDonald, all gone. Iowa does have one player that hit the portal, wide receiver Deontay Vines. 12 catches on the season. He might lead the team.
A wide receiver. How would they ever replace him? They can replace him with a scarecrow with this offense.
Wait, I love how he leaves now. He's like, "Oh, we're getting rid of Ferentz. I'm out." He's like, I'm fucking out.
Yeah. I don't think Joe Milton leaving affects this game at all.
Oh, I think a freshman quarterback against Iowa's defense matters.
But Tennessee is an actual team. And Iowa, when they played actual football teams, got bounced. So I like Tennessee here the way you like LSU over Wisconsin.
I'm on the Hawkeyes, buddy.
I know you. I know you're always on the Hawkeyes.
I did get the better of the number. I had 8. In my opinion, the over-under's at 35.5. Load up on that under.
That's a high number for an Iowa game, isn't it?
Load up on that under. You're a freshman quarterback against Iowa's defense.
I agree. The freshman quarterback he's a phenom though. I can't back Iowa at all. I love it that it's underneath the 7.
Do you remember last year's bowl game against Kentucky? They had like 2 pick sixes the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
watch out.
Play though.
This is my point. The backup for Kentucky played. Now this backup for Tennessee's coming in, 5-star potential. He's doing videos with the fucking Hummer. You know what I mean? You think Ferentz?
Yeah, but the difference is Kentucky was there because of Will Levis. Tennessee's not here because of Joe Milton. Joe Milton.
That's fair. That is fair. But when you add in their running back that opted out, he was 1,000-yard rusher. You add in all those other players out. I think Iowa, they might miss those 12 catches though. That's like a substantial loss. You're just like, damn.
Right.
We could go for him for 1 6-yard catch when we needed it. I'm on Iowa. The Liberty Flamin' Libs are.
I'm excited for that game, that Iowa Tennessee game. I kind of want to watch that.
Yeah, me too.
It'll definitely be compelling. Like every Iowa game, it's compelling television. Even though it's like, it sets the sport back 50 years, it's still compelling.
You bite your tongue with setting the sport back 50 years. That is the way the sport is supposed to be played.
I don't say setting it back's an insult. I mean, like, set your watch back and let's.
Liberty, Oregon. This game just kills me, man. The Fiesta Bowl, it should be at Sun Devil Stadium where it was for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been to this new stadium, this Cardinal Stadium where they do this Fiesta Bowl. It sucks. Nothing cool about it.
I've been in that stadium where the floor field comes underneath it. Whatever.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I fell asleep at a fucking Fiesta Bowl there.
Looks like a Top Golf inside.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Oregon's laying 17. They say Bo Nix is going to play, but how long is he going to play? I'm all over the Flamin' Libs because I don't believe that all these players are going to play. That, it's like Frank Harris. He took snaps in the pregame, but he didn't play. Or Rasheen Ali that played the first half at Marshall.
People should be in jail for that game.
Yeah.
The information, I mean, they should be in absolute prison. That was gross. They benched Harris, and then to play Ali, and then to bench him in the second half. Why? Oh, they're getting ready for the NFL. What was he doing 10 minutes ago? He was just playing a football game.
It is such bullshit.
Yeah,
it's such bullshit.
I hear you. Who knows how long Bo Nix is going to play? I still think it'll be enough. I mean, Liberty did it. This is the worst, weakest schedule in the country.
True.
And then the NCAA is like, "Hey, you got to play who's in front of you." Really? Well, how come that didn't work for Florida State? Well, because we care about that.
It's a great point. Great point. Give me the Flamin' Libs plus 17 though. I think.
Give me the Ducks. They're gonna fucking put up 80 points.
You're in a lot of trouble, buddy. Your picks are all over the place here. All right.
Oregon's gonna score 80.
Let's get to these.
No. Let's get to the big ones.
All right, Alabama, Michigan, the Rose Bowl. You got to hook up on tickets. Let's go.
I know, right? We should get in there. I don't want to go to the Rose Bowl anyway. It's
I'm on a list, believe it or not.
I believe it. 100% believable. I went to the Rose Bowl this year for the UCLA Colorado game to watch Coach Prime. Took us a good 7.5 hours to get in there with parking. A nice 3 hours to locate my car in pure darkness afterwards. But then we got right on the highway right after that. After that, it was pretty easy. 5 minutes of football action. It was great.
And they offered you at the end of the third quarter, they offered you a Pinot Grigio, right?
Yeah, they offered you.
Yeah, the wine and cheese with the brie.
Yeah, a slice of brie, cheese, and go. That's what they got me. I'm never going back to the Rose Bowl, even if it's for the granddaddy of them all.
Keith Jackson. Look, here's what's going to happen. Michigan has been in the first round of the playoffs 2 straight years and got absolutely rocked in both games. I know you could say, well, they only lost the TCU game by 7. They were down 21-0 like 4 minutes into the fucking game. Right. They never once had the lead in that game.
And they're double-digit favorites too.
Yeah, and don't give me this shit about it was only a 7-point game. They got their ass whooped by TCU. And then obviously the one in Miami against Georgia, they got absolutely destroyed. So I do think they've been building for this. Now I did see Jalen Milroe call out Bill O'Brien. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
He's like, Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator last year. He said I shouldn't be a quarterback anymore. But who's in the college football playoff and who's not here anymore? Well, talk a little shit to Bill O'Brien, who made Christian Hackenberg a 2nd round pick for the New York Jets.
Oh man!
Look, I think this game's really hard to forecast because I could see either team winning. I think both teams will be focused. Obviously, Patty C brings up a good point as he's kind of a closet Michigan fan that Harbaugh traditionally in bowl games has not been super good.
You mean 1-6 in bowl games? And his one win is the fucking Citrus Bowl his first year.
But they've had this on the walls.
Peach, he's terrible in bowl games.
Look, they've had this on the walls. They had beat Georgia, win in the CFP. They've had them on the walls, saying right next to Connor Stallions, right next to Connor Stallions. Some of his charts, and they've been paying attention.
Yeah,
I'm laying the 1.5 for the 2. What are you doing here?
This might be one of my favorite plays of the bowl season. And it's square. I love Alabama in this game. Michigan. How Michigan got the 1 seed is beyond me too.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Washington deserves it with their resume. Michigan's resume is awful. They play absolutely nobody against entire season. When I mean nobody, I mean no one with even a pulse
until Ohio State, right?
Until Ohio State, obviously towards the end, and what happened then? They had 200 yards offense for every one of these games. Their offense looked terrible. They couldn't move it versus Iowa. They're going to have to throw the ball. Okay. Obviously, go ahead, McCarthy. Throw the ball against this team. You're not going to be able to run it against Alabama. I mean, I think it's going to be another Harbaugh disaster. I mean, it's not going to be a blowout. I'm not saying I like Alabama winning this game.
Let's talk about the other side of this, though, where Alabama has struggled to run the ball all season. I think Michigan's pass rush can be a factor in this game.
Of course,
they got like a 7-man rotation.
Yeah, Michigan's defense is amazing. I'm not saying that. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a blowout. It's a tough game. Michigan just moved to -2, by the way. So I'm on the Alabama money line. But you're right. Running the ball will be very difficult. I like just the rosters. This is when the Big Ten and the SEC go at it, and the Big Ten says, "Yeah, we're just as good as the SEC," and obviously not this year. But when you talk about the top of the conferences, your Alabamas and Georgias, it's not even fucking close. These guys have 100 5-star athletes up and down the fucking roster. I mean, like I think the talent you're going to see is just going to be complete. It's going to be visible on the screen how much better Alabama is talent wise.
I think that's basically based off that Georgia game 2 years ago, and that's fair. But also, Ohio State should have beat Georgia last year.
Yes, they should have.
That's why I think
about Ohio State. I like Ohio State's talent better than Michigan.
I do too, but I think Michigan's really raised up their talent level via the transfer portal in the past couple of years. I don't feel great about this play. I think it's kind of a 50-50 play. But I do think they've been building for it. I do believe there's something to the third time's a charm in the first round of the playoffs.
They're motivated, but I think there's also a reason why it is the third time and why they lost those other 2 times.
True. And I also think you add on the NCAA's hatred for Jim Harbaugh. Wouldn't it be great if you won the national championship and said, fuck you to
it's a great storyline. That's for sure. And I will say this, no matter who loses, we win because at least one of these 2 teams is going to lose. And
that's true.
But I like Alabama a lot here. Just a bad match. I wish it was Washington, Alabama, Texas, Michigan.
No, it should have been. I actually think it should have been. It should have been Washington and LA taking on
in
Texas.
the Rose Bowl.
Or you could have done Washington, Michigan, which would have been fun.
Washington, Michigan would have been great in the Rose Bowl, but Washington should be the 1 seed in the Rose Bowl. To make them go across country like this to play Texas is just I hate it.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Texas, Washington, Texas laying 4.5. Shop around. 63.5 is the total. I'm all over the Washington Huskies here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've made my point with you before is Texas has played 7 backup quarterbacks. And even with that, the 5 starting quarterbacks that they played what, Jalen Milroe in his 3rd ever start. They played Dylan Gabriel and lost.
Mm-hmm.
They played Will Howard, who's not necessarily a passing quarterback, I would say,
should have lost.
Yeah, and should have lost that game. They haven't just played a lot of good quarterback play.
And lost to Houston.
Yeah, and that was actually Donovan Smith lit them up.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. They're I have the stats somewhere. I think they're 93rd in pass defense. That would basically giving Kalen DeBauer a month to prep. That's the huge edge to me. Is Steve Sarkisian with a month to prep? I don't think there's a reason why he's been kind of a dud as a coach. You know, he's a good offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he's struggled in big spotlight games.
Yeah.
Whether he was at Washington, whether he was at USC, whether he was at Texas. You know, look at last year's bowl game against Washington. Look at the Red River shootout against Oklahoma. So I'm all over Washington. I'm gonna ride that money line too. I could build you a case for if Texas is gonna win, they got to establish the run and milk the clock and keep the ball out of Penix's hand. But I think Penix being super experienced as a quarterback. Another thing is I think Caleb DeBauer with a month to prep, I think you're gonna see him run Michael Penix a little more. Dylan Gabriel ran for over 100 yards against Texas there in that Red River shootout. or somewhere right around there, if memory serves me correct. But yeah, I'm on the Huskies. Who are you on here?
Well, I have preseason. I was all in on Washington. I have a Washington to win the national championship ticket in my pocket. I had them to make the playoff ticket that cashed. I had a Penix Heisman that did not come in, but definitely gave me a great sweat. All at huge numbers, all over 20, 30, 40 to ones. That being said, and they're gonna be able to attack the perimeter. Speed on the perimeter, the passing attack. That is how you beat Texas, which sets up nicely for them. That said, I think Texas looks like the best team of the four that's out there that's playing right now. And I think they're eventually going to be too much for them. I see a high scoring affair. I like the over in this game. I think Texas eventually wins this game like 45-20. I think there's going to be too much for them.
Really?
Yep. And that's square side too. Texas looks we're looking in the past with that string. And listen, and I could go to the past too with Washington. Washington was not a good football team for the last month and a half of the season. Now they played a great game, obviously, in the Pac-12 championship versus Oregon. But
no, you're thinking the middle of the season. The last month, they beat a lot of good teams.
They beat good teams, but they haven't looked that great. I'll just say that. They've all been on single-digit points. That Oregon State game, there was a weather disaster, obviously. I can't get that Arizona State game out of my head. And people just want to dismiss it and say, Penix was banged up. Now he's right. I don't know about that. I mean, they won on that ridiculous pick six. And they got by and they won. They're resilient.
But can't we say this with Texas, with the Houston spot, the spot in that game on fourth down? Yeah, can't we say that with Kansas State going for 2?
Of course, but in the last month, Texas is absolutely just slaughtered.
But the competition, you get. I would argue that beating Oregon State and Oregon and Utah and some of the other USC. Yeah. Was better. That's better than beating Iowa State, and I think they're more battle tested. So and I think, how about this for a hot take? Quinn Ewers is the worst quarterback in the college football playoff.
Oh my God! What?
Let's go. Let's go. Anyway,
that is a hot take. Listen, I'm with you. I have my futures on Washington. I don't like their chances here versus Texas.
Wow. Okay. I want to get just a couple more takes from you before we leave. I know we got to get out of here. We're getting messaged. We got some college basketball games this Friday, Saturday, some big time matchups, some juicy dogs. Conference play is starting in college hoops. You also still have a couple great non-con games like Gonzaga laying 6 at the Kennel against San Diego State, who played in the national championship a year ago. I'm curious. I'm going to let you think about that one for a second. But first, I want to tell you that the college experience is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with the Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month. Start research and start winning with Hall of Fame Bets.
Hey Dundee, I have a question for you.
What
would you set that line of your national championship game that you just predicted, Michigan, Washington?
Well, knowing the public, or what I would personally say, because I don't make Michigan the favorite. I actually think Washington should be the favorite.
Woo! Because there is a line you can bet right now on Bet Online. They have all 4 scenarios.
What's that? What is that Michigan Washington situation?
That would be Michigan minus 6.5.
Get the fuck out of here.
These idiots.
I mean,
I would definitely take Washington there, and I would love it. That would double down on my futures with Washington plus 6.5. Why ain't the money line? Let's get it.
Yeah, but all over that, folks. Get in.
Not in by Alabama. Now, same line for Alabama, Washington. Sure, weirdly enough, 6.5. Now that I would definitely like Washington.
Yeah. What about Texas, Michigan, or Texas, Alabama?
Texas, Alabama, which is the most likely, which is my scenario. Alabama minus 3. It's not the most likely. It's my.
How the fuck is that even possible? Texas won by double digits in Tuscaloosa.
Come on now. You know how these revenge games go. You never sweep in those games. The fucking Alabama LSU, the Florida State.
Who do they think Alabama is this year? Alabama should have lost like 5 times. They needed a fucking 4th and 26. Garbage ass fucking Alabama doesn't even belong in the fucking playoffs. They put him in there for some fucking charity work. All right. I mean, we can have Nick Saban right off into the sunset. Let's put him in the fucking playoffs. Nonsense. Texas proved that they're a better team. And they'll do it again if that happens. I'm on it.
Stop fighting it, Dundee. Hop on board. Bama national champions. Roll Tide.
They're trying to give Saban some charity work there. They already put him in the fucking playoffs. He's 73 years old. Doesn't even realize they're fucking expanding to 12 next year. All right.
They're stopping at the undeserved Alabama Crimson Tide national champion.
Hey, college basketball, though. What do you think about San Diego State in the kennel Friday night, taking on the Zags?
Well, 2 teams that I'm not high on this year. I told you something weird about this Gonzaga. Not weird about this Gonzaga. Just not the same Gonzaga team this year. But San Diego State, like you said too, is also inflated lines because of last year's national championship run. That defense is not the same. They don't travel as well. Is there a number for this?
6.
Gonzaga's laying 6.
Yeah.
I'd take San Diego State there, actually. But as I talked myself out of it, because I mean, it's a tough road game. I don't trust Zaga's laying a big number anymore this year, to be honest with you.
I'm on the Zags. I love this. We're different on every fucking game. Okay. The Washington Huskies are catching 9 in Boulder, Colorado. Pac-12 play starts. Washington's been playing a little bit better than I think most people forecasted. Yep. Meanwhile, Colorado, very talented team, but they have had, this is probably the most talented team on paper Colorado's ever had in my lifetime. But Cody Williams, the star freshman, is out with a wrist injury. I'm on the 9 points in Boulder. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take the 9 for sure. You're grabbing Washington, right?
Yeah, I'm grabbing Washington there.
Yeah, I like Washington. Like you said, they're playing better than expected. I like the way they look for sure. I'm seeing 8 already. So the people listening. I still like.
Do you have a line on Will Wade heading into Ann Arbor? McNeese State, Will Wade's new school.
Right.
10-2.
Let me take a look here real quick.
At the Chrysler Center.
At the Chrysler Center, we're looking at McNeese.
I'm not seeing it right now.
I'm not seeing that either, to be honest with you. Is that
okay? Yeah, stay tuned for that. But watch out, we might have a live dog situation. You got it?
No, I don't have it.
How about UNC Greensboro in Austin, Texas? I think Greensboro. Remember what they won at Arkansas earlier this year.
Real quick, I did find a McNeese, Michigan line. That is that would be -10. Michigan is laying.
Get the fuck out of here! Loading up on Will Wade. I think you sprinkle some of the money line.
I don't have a money line yet, but all right, let's do it. +10. Let's grab it.
I also think we have a situation where Greensboro could be live in Austin, Texas.
Now, I did say last time that I should not have my sports book open when I do this show. I make plays I don't even realize I'm doing, just following along with Dundee. Then I wake up the next day to an account that says 400. What the? Now we got a problem. What happened here? Oh, I was on Detroit Mercy. I had no clue. Anyway, I just think McNeese State +10.
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
Hey, if you want to stay chalk, Washington State's hitting the road for the first time this year. They're heading to Salt Lake City. Utah's laying 6.5 or 7. I say you lay the points with the Utes in Salt Lake City.
Sounds nice. I like that for sure.
Arizona's also heading to Berkeley. They're giving 17.5 to the Golden Bears. I think you take Cal. You want to get a little crazy? Sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
Yes, I love it. Why not? Although they do have a bounce back spot, obviously from the Florida game, and what a game that was. They lost 95-96. Kramer just came in here, Dundee, rocking the Bet Detective shirt, but also to show that off and to tell us to wrap it up, basically.
Oh, I didn't realize they were recording again. Folks, subscribe to the college experience, whether the basketball experience or the football experience. They're on Twitter.
Online bombs isolated. I just found out today that people are listening to me on other formats. I need you to subscribe to the individual bottom of my own feed, because after the football season, it's not just going to be on the NFL. It's going to be everywhere, Yeah. So make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs personal feed podcast.
There you go. And give CJ a follow on Twitter, CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. And the college experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. And folks, until next time, enjoy. Happy New Year and all that good stuff. And let's go. This is the college experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Yeah.